Hello, 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 and welcome. Happy Thursday. This is Jolene with the Joel Design. Officially St. Patrick's Day. I know. If you've been watching me, you know I got excited last week and jumped the gun and got my Tuesdays and Thursdays confused, but hey, this is what we do. So today we are here with a journal with me, craft and chat. I'll keep it as quick as I can, but I definitely wanted to show you how you could use my newest kits, my little mini ephemera kits, and these are the scallop window pockets that you can stuff with a built-in notebook on the back. And we're going to show you today ways to do the front and quickly, two different ways how to make a notebook and notebook cover on the back. So this is my first one. This was my mock-up. I showed you guys this this past Tuesday. And, sort of what it looks like to have it all stuffed in. It was a great little demo. I'll probably turn it into something, probably personally for me. I have a couple girlfriends who love purple, so maybe I'll finish this up, fine-tune it, and make it a cute notebook for them. Now, if you've been watching me with my series, you notice that I did start this whole thing out with the Scallop pocket from the Touches of Romance kit. And here, instead of cutting out a window, because I wasn't sure how much supplies I had, I went ahead and just collaged along the front. So we can take the same notebook concept, stuff the pocket like we did here, and just collage across the front so it's really all very pretty and decorative and girly and ready to go. And all they would do is flip it over with the pink stuff and put the notebook on the back. Same concept. So if you don't have anything to put a clear here, the vellum is too thick, whatever we do today, you don't have it, no one says you have to cut out the window. Though I did leave this open. It is an open thing. It's not, doesn't say you have to put plastic in there, but every once in a while my flower does try to fall out, right? And it's sort of nice when you're layering the corners that you have something there to sort of screen through. So totally up to you. You can leave it open and put nothing. You can feel and see all your stuffed items. We are going to do two other options to cover it up, the hole, or you can do this. You can simply collage across the front, add the extra things that we have stuffed in the top, and just flip it over, and we're going to do our notebook. Okay, so today the goal is to get two more units prepped and ready to go. I'm not going to do another pink one at the moment, since we did do the one for my my pocket page. I'm not going to work on the other pink ones, but I have it. So if it comes up and I decide I want to do a pink one for a friend or a family member, I will do that. So if you followed me on Tuesday, you got to see all the pretty pieces that go to both these kits. I showed all the pages. These are all somewhat cut out now. So I have all my fancies. I have all my cutouts, my journal cards, all the things I could possibly tuck into this lovely scallop pocket, okay, for both sets. And as you see here, there's our backing. Here's our windowed pocket. And then this is going to be our instantly folded cover to the back side of the notebook, like I did with the purple one. So today we're going to go through sort of front, back on both of the purple and the blue one, because as much as I love my first purple one, I definitely want to see it with the darker ingredients or darker pieces, and I want to put it in my purple journal. I am determined to make myself a purple journal this year, and I have all kinds of pretty pieces, so I'm going to collage things that I had from me personally, from things I collected over the fall. There's some really pretty pieces that I have, and I want to work with all of those. So this is on the back side, and I have a secondary idea with this one that's a little different than this one, so it's just why we're doing both of these today. So I just want to thank you all for coming and joining me today for another journal with me at Craft and Chat. We'll try to keep it as quick as I can, as to not make this too winded for you. So what are we going to do first? So yeah, the scalp one, as I suggested, you want to make sure before you cut anything out, especially on this page, where we have it top and bottom, that you print something on the back. And I do give you a page to work with. As you can see, you can decide which way you want to go. If I want it a little darker, but you're not going to see the back of this one. That's the only thing. But I wanted to make sure when you flipped it over, you had some kind of color. And I'm really happy with the darker purple. This one was really pale, and I just felt like it blended. Now I can see it here, but in some daylights you can't tell. In bright light, you can't tell that's lavender without it being up against. Hold on. So sorry. Without it being up against a white sheet of paper. And now I just realized I do not have my Do Not Disturb on. So I'm liking the darker page. Yes, you don't really need it here, but if you decide to use this somewhere else and change your gears, it's nice to know that it's already backed. So I definitely like the darker boundary, and we're going to do something different with this one. This one I did not back with this page, because I knew you technically, as according to my things, you're going to trim the whole square. Okay. You trim out the whole square. And I do have a note here that says, you know, fold and create a hinge. So we're going to scallop, we're going to score right across here to fold it, and we're going to glue it down, and we're going to make it our base cover to our notebook. But I have a thought for this one, so I'm going to go this way. Yeah, I have a different thought for this one that I just thought about, and this is going to go in the journal. Now, this is not going to be a standalone for me. This is actually going to go as a large piece in a journal, and we're going to use it in a slightly sideways manner on this one. Just like we did the pink one and did not put a notebook on it. We just put it as a pocket into the journal, my large journal. This one we're going to use sideways and put as a stuffed envelope or stuffed pocket into, and a notebook behind it in a journal. And this one is going to be what it's intended for, which is a Mother's Day's gift. And it's going to be a stuffed pocket, windowed pocket with a notebook on the back. So both are working. So today I am using... I have some cellophane bags that I'm going to use as my clear piece for here, since I have no more plastic like I used in the pocket to the bottom pocket. And on the pink one you saw, if you've been watching on the series, my bottom flip up tag pocket has the harder plastic window, which I don't have any more of. Can't figure out where it is. And this one we're going to use vellum. So we're definitely going to do something very different on both of these. I have purple vellum. It's really lightweight. And so I figured it would still be somewhat see-through. So we can see all the pretties I put in it, but it's not, since I'm pretty much just putting large cards in here, I don't need it perfectly see-through. And this one, I'm going to want all the flowers and the goodies to show through. I'm going to use a clear on this one. So hopefully you're all doing really well. I'm trying to chat too much, but there are moments where I'm working and I have to do something, right? I got to chat while we're doing this, because I thought I'd do what I could on camera with you guys. But I am trying to keep it to a minimum. You know, did I turn it on? Yes, I did. Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to see how quickly I can do this. I've been doing some pretty lengthy videos for you guys on the Journal with Me craft and chats. Because we're working on 2 full pages and 4 pockets and decorating and scallops, and there's a lot going on. But these are going to make great quick little gifts. Whether it's an insert into a journal you've already made for somebody, it happens to match. Whether you're using it, of course I can't cut straight, whether you're using it as a greeting card, as a journaling moment for birthdays, or in this case, my biggest thought was maybe Mother's Day. I thought there'd be a cute card to make as a sort of a greeting card type thing, a journaling greeting card for your loved ones. So, okay, so we're going to cut that out, and I am going to distress it before, put that over there, before... to antique this one up, or because I know who I'm making it for, but I don't know. She's a little bit more of an antique girl than a silver girl. So if I was like on mine, I'm gonna do silver. I'm more into the silver hints, and though there will be some antique moments in the ordeal, I'm feeling that we definitely want to, because of the cutoff, depending how straight you are, you're gonna want to distress the inside of this best you can, just to help give some dimension too, when you decide to layer a little bit later. Now, we're not going to get these projects finished today. I'm working on the main pieces for you guys, so you see the potential of what it can do. And then I will either do a quick short or a reveal. I have one more kit, hopefully, to show off this month. So when I do that reveal, I will show you the finished products. Of course, the pictures of this finished product will be within the listings of the... the finished product will already be in the listings that came up on Tuesday. When you work ahead of schedule a little bit, you get to backtrack, which is nice. So if you want to see how these turned out, of course, go check out the listings on my Etsy shop, which is down in my description below for anybody new who is just getting used to me and moving into, what we're going on and watching the journals. Getting used to me in the description below. As always, my Etsy shop, a link to all my social media that pertain to a jewel design, and of course the listings themselves. Like if I have something specific like today, I'm going to show you the purple and blue and pink kit listed, so you can go straight to them. You don't have to go searching, but there's always a full Etsy shop listing link too, because sometimes you just want to look at everything, and these are sitting in the standalone ephemera mini kit category or section. So, and it'll probably be featured in the front, on the top too. I try to put my newest stuff on top. I try to feature it. So, and what else? All kinds of good stuff going on. Okay, so I'm distressing this real quick. I haven't got to the back yet, but I'm going to distress the back too. You should always try to do it all at once so you don't forget, because you know me, I get so excited and then I forget what I was doing and I forget to distress. I forget to do the inking. I call it distressing. I feel like we're distressing the paper because it's not distressed. It's actually quite new. So we're going to make it look a little older, antique it up a little bit. Okay, so the back's done, the front's done. So now the big thing is to get a piece of this. Now, I could, if I wanted to, if I had anything to make it a shaker, it would just fit. I could make it a pocket, put stuff inside it, and shake it. Oh, wouldn't that be fun? So you know what I'm going to do to work that? I'm going to cut just above it, below it, so the top stays sealed, and we'll seal it on the bottom, and I'll leave the top open at the moment. Whether I'm adding flowers in between, like tucking it into the plastic and then cards behind it, or if I decide to put, if I find enough glitter and stuff that's in the blues and stuff, I may put stuff in it and then I'll glue across the top. So something else to think about. Every little thing. And actually, to make it even easier, oh no, see there's a hole there. That's why I was using the top. Now be careful. This one happens to have an air pocket. So I'm not going to want to do the bottom where it's already sealed on 3 sides, because that hole would let everything fall out, which would be bad. You don't want everything to fall out. But why not utilize it, right? Why not make the most? So I'm just going to sort of follow the somewhat, straight pocket here. It's sticky anyway. I mean, it would be great later, but it is in the way. And it's just wide enough. I can just get enough tacky here to keep it in place. So all I have to do now, because we want to make sure I can seal that, is find a spot to cut it. There we go. So use whatever you have, of course, to seal this. I got lucky. I realized I've been saving a bunch of these plastic pages from my, I have a number of ladies that I follow who are, perfect, okay, who are sticker designers. And so when I get their sticker sheets, they're always in a plastic wrap. So I always try to hold on to them, whether I put my freebies in them when you guys buy something from me, or when I, what's the other word? Yeah, either freebies, or in this case, I'm like, I need it, right? So this is gonna be the hard part, only downside, and we're gonna have to give this a moment. I didn't think about that before I got started. It's not too bad in the garage. It is earlier in the morning for me, so it gets a little crazy, but we want it enough to where it's not going to get in the way. And I noticed this is easier. The tacky glue is so much easier than the fabric tack than the glitter glue. The glitter glue seems to smear, and you sort of see it when it dries. And it just, if you have a really thin hemline, as I would say, you don't have a lot of room to maneuver. So I notice when I put the glitter glue in there, it smears upward, so it makes my pocket space thinner. And I have a lot of trouble getting it where I want to go. So that's me personally, where I'm like, nope, I want to use the tacky. And it seems to actually dry faster too, which is shocking, because usually, it has a little bit more give, or a little bit more freedom to move stuff around compared to the, and if I do this right, you really won't, if I do it just right, you won't see any glue that might have accidentally come up and over. So hold on, let me do 2 things. I want to make sure, yep, you can see me. 2, I got to make sure my do not disturb is on before I get any, I've been lucky so far, nothing has gotten in the way. Not tethering. Why am I tethering something? That's so funny. No tethering. Don't need that. There we go. All right, we're still recording. Sorry. I know, a little bouncy. I'm already 13 minutes in. This is not going to be as quick as I was hoping, but you see what I'm trying to go for, and I'll try to do this as quickly as we can here. So I'm just going to glue right here on the paper, so I know exactly where to put it, and I'm not guessing at where to put it on the plastic. Because I know where I need it on here. I know where it's going, and my only worry is that I have this upside down. I do. I want my, because I didn't want to seal it. Well, it'd be sealed on one side. Never mind. Gosh, I'm a dork. I would work. I do, which is why I didn't. I just make sure I don't put the pocket upside down. That's my problem. I do want a certain piece on top. I want one of the lace images to be on the top of my pocket, because I think we're going to put some flowers on the bottom front of the pocket in front of the window for decoration. So I'm going to have some in the front and some inside. So we're going to do both of those, which, I have all kinds of fun ideas now. I love working with you guys. I come up with all these great ideas on how to do this. Okay, so this is my, let's see, this is my top. So we're going to go this way. I want to make sure my pocket is open on top for right now. So I have the option to put something in it, and leave it open, or whether I'm going to put stuff in it and seal it. Like a... Because once this is down, though, that's the only downside. Once it's down, I can't glue, like, down the sides or anything. So that's... I just caught that. So let's do this really quick. So, there you go. I'm using the plastic packaging that I got. There we go. There's my top, and the top is open. So I can, it's glued to just the border. I can put stuff in it, then seal it. Or we're going to use it in a way to stuff. Because I'm almost thinking, once this is glued down, we could leave it open once I have these better fussy cutted. And we can just, I may stick. Like maybe this is small and I don't really want it to roam around. I don't want it to get lost. So I'm going to stick it in the pocket, let it roam around in here. So there's one under. And then I want to do, this one. I was thinking about fussy cutting this one and having it fit on the outside of the pocket. That's on the inside and everything's stuffed in between. Though this is pretty, of course, behind it, but I love the idea of something on here. Or I'm going to put like this little guy on the outside and have something on the inside. So right now we'll leave it in there. Yeah. And so far things seems to be handling pretty well. Okay. And then this I can go back to, of course, it's disgusting. This I can go back to now. Now that we're not dealing with any more plastic, we can go back to the standard glitter glue. They are trimmed just right, where they should be just a smidge inside the other pocket. I'm hoping that when it's all said and done, I had a little bit of a beveled edge, but that all depends on, operator error on that one and see how well I cut. If I really wanted that beveled look like I did on the spread, I would have trimmed this even more so that it had sort of this two-step look. But it's fine to the edge too. I mean, I'm liking that too. So got the lace here on the top. You can see the blue background with a little bit of the flower. I made sure the flower is mostly at the top because we knew when everything was stuffed in, you wouldn't see much of what's in here. And I'm loving the idea of this windowed pocket behind here because now all we do is start stuffing it with all of our pretty cards and, whoopsie, he gets in the way. Pieces. Now, the only thing we were debating on, which if you saw my video on the other day, was to break up that blue a little bit. I might put this inside here. I could even just tuck that guy in on the bottom, right? Layers, which is absolutely lovely. This one is a really big card, and it was really bright blue. Right now, it seems to work. It's a nice teetering. Pulls from the blue here. I feel like I need to break that up. But anyway, you'll make it perfect. But I am like, okay, so you see the potential of how it all sticks in here. You see all the things you can do. This is the only thing we were debating on where you could fold it and make it a little mini book. I know it sort of seems weird to have that binding on the top. But even like that, you could make it an interesting book and tuck it in here if you wanted a little bit more, because it is a good size card. But I have it in all of them. I have a nice large card to get you height in the back. Right, so there you go. There it is stuffed. It has a window. Right now it has a window pocket. It's actually a window pocket within the pocket. And we just have to decide what we want to keep in it and then close it up or leave it open. Okay, now the back is the next big thing. Now I still have stuff left over to decorate, to stuff, to, I mean, it goes forever, I swear. This was the whole point, that you could cluster, you could stuff, you could really make the most of it. So once I had these cut down, we have that. It just keeps going, which is awesome. But the back now is what makes it a notebook. And you may decide that you want to leave some of these pieces for the back side to decorate. This may be great for our hinge, and this may be great just to maybe follow the arch, and we're going to put a decorative piece on the back of the card, whatever. You do have room to take any of these pieces and decorate. So, as we talked about, we need a score. And before I forget, I know I need it, but oh, good Lord. I love these dangles, but man, am I brutal on them. Did it come unglued? That's what it looks like. It came unglued. All right, well, I don't have time for that. I will deal with that later. Those purple. I think this is going to be part of my purple journal at the rate we're going. Goodness gracious. Maybe we'll just leave that one there. They don't last long. I have a blue one that I love that's fallen apart. Again, those blue pieces may very well go on something else. What am I looking for? Oh, scoring. Okay, now, this is always fun. It's always best if you have something to really straighten it out with, but I'm going to use 2 different lines here and try to line it up with something. I think that's my biggest problem is I don't line it up with anything very well. And so I don't get straight lines. And that's my fault. Again, operator error. Anyway, you will want to score down what you think is the middle here the best you can. A little off-centered. And you can always trim it, of course, if it ends up being too far off. You trim it out to make it work. Now, I did make these a little narrower than the backing, so that, like we did in the purple mock-up, you have some room to tuck it in. I just scored it. Look at that, super easy. And well, like I said, my cutting isn't great, even though I used a cutting board. But I swear things don't cut up. So I'm going to trim across the bottom really clean. But look at that. Once we glue it, it's instantly back. So let's glue it. That way I know exactly lined up where I want it to be. And then I can... So with this back page, as I said, it's an instantly backed notebook cover. And this allows you to have a nice little hardcover to your notebook. And there's plenty of paper left over from all your cutouts because you do back things, that you have these lovely pieces that you can cut and square and make your hinges, make tabs, whatever you need, and you have that pretty blue paper to blend in with. See, I just fold it. So now we're going to use really quickly. Sorry guys, we'll have to do this as quickly as I can. You can trim it with your decal edge. If you want something a little rougher, you can keep it really clean because it's the cover. And I'm just going to trim off any edges that I feel aren't perfectly square, because even with a cutter, it's not perfect, but it definitely does the job. At least start off with it, you fold it, and then you make it perfect again. So, one of two options. I'm liking the more decorative end, and I want this to be the top, or the left side or top of my notebook. And we're probably going to decorate here. Again, if I don't put this one on the front, I may want to put it here. I may decide I want that contrast, and I'm going to put that there. I could put the girl here. I can put the lady here on its side. It just depends on how you want to decorate this and how you expect the person to use it. Like if I hinge it here and put a tab here, we're going to open it with the papers here, and they could turn it sideways and write this way, or they can leave it here and you can do more of a greeting card, memory. Depends how much paper you have. You will determine how much you put in here. What am I looking for? Oh, my pen, because I worry about this constantly. Okay, so like I did last time, you find your smallest piece that makes the most sense. You want length, not so much a lot of width, because you don't need a whole lot to hinge this with. This piece that's left over, which is, the side of the first page, the B side, is actually a good length, a good width. So I'm just going to cut down here, not super dark or super light in the blue. I only need the top length of I go about 3/4 of the, 3/4 to 5/8 of the height of the book cover, because I don't need it to go, say I went too far. I don't need it to stick out. So I'm just going to do, I like it shorter than, and halfway gives me a nice hinge. So I could try to score this. I'm like, I can try to score this. We'll see. Oh, guessing at the halfway mark, of course. Doesn't surprise me at all, but we're going to use scraps and we're going to make our little hinge. And you can decide that maybe you need more hinge on the base than if it's a little off, it's okay. Fold it. Now the cool thing is you're going to do is you're going to glue down your white or your weird overlap and glue it to the page and glue it to the cover. So all you see is a pretty blue. They're also going to hide some more with the papers that you install. So you can distress this or leave it plain. It just depends if you want it to stick out. I think on this one, I distressed it, so it made it more decorative so it matched the tab. Totally up to you. This time I don't think I will. I think I'm just going to leave it alone, and we're just going to glue it down. Now, before I do that though, once this is glued down, can I distress this? Yeah, but it's going to be a lot harder. So really quickly, so it matches the front, I'm going to distress the edges to give it some dimension, so it's not so flat. We don't want it to look too brand new, right? We want it to have a little bit of fun, a little bit of vintage antique, so that, it's something pretty in there. It just, I don't know. Something about vintage, really does, especially with papers. There's something we're so attracted to, that old worn, loved look. And I want to make sure that I glue it down the right side. So in this case, I've always assumed it was going to go this way, flowers up, again, lace on top. That's me. You can flip it around because the back is so non-directional. that you can decide you don't mind the upside down or backwards because you're going to cover it, which I'm sort of liking that idea. But no, I think I want this end. Yeah, I see 25 minutes already gone. I think I want to put the tab and the decor on this end. So we're going to leave the flowers on this side. Okay, so I'm going to, this is definitely a quick, here you go. Again, so thankful for all the new watchers. I know there's quite a few of you that joined in February. I'm so thankful for that. Thank you for taking Gail's advice and Lorette's advice and come and check me out. I know I don't have a daily YouTube. I don't have time to do both. I, have to get a couple of digitals out a month, at least 2 full journal kits, and I need to get, a number of mini small things out each month so that you guys have new things to look at all times. Now here's where you're just going to debate on exactly how high you want to go. I just sort of lined it up. I'm going to press it down, open it up again so I don't glue anything down by accident. But look, should be, nope. Oh my gosh. Okay. Here I thought it was all straight and it is nowhere near. Wow, this is interesting. Okay, well we're gonna make that work in our favor. I'm like, why aren't you lining up? I don't know if it's probably this is the problem. So okay, luckily I had enough just liquid and time to where I could move it and it was wet enough. So, all right. Yeah, pay attention to that. Don't trust your hinges, especially if you didn't cut anything straight. Oh my goodness. Now, as you can see, this card, it sort of sticks out. So if I distress the back, it's a nice little thing that pops up behind. Now, here's where you can decide where you may want to leave it floppy and loose, but you're going to find your favorite papers. And in this case, I'm going with her. I'm going to do more of a vintage paper. I'm going to keep to that look, that cream. And I'm going to cut these, I'm probably going to fold them. And I'm just going to cut a number of pages, glue them together on this one end, and then she has a notebook, little journal pages to write in, or maybe I'm going to write in a bunch of memories, or why why I'm so blessed to have you as my mom, or that kind of thing. You can decide how to use this, whether it's a single sheet and you just glue it straight down and they just have to pop it open and they get to read it, multiple pages and they get to journal it themselves, or a little bit of both. You leave a page or 2 in there and let her journal in the rest. But by doing this, you will cover up that first hinge, and you can decide. You put something, layer something up this way so it blends in, so you can't tell it's hinged. And whether or not, again, you use leftover from here, you can create that triangle. I just did this. I just created myself a square and cut matching angles like you would the top of a tag, and just glued down the edge, and I had something to tuck it into. So it's that simple to make a standard notebook on its backside. Okay, so as I put the pages in, I'll determine how I want to do that. In 10 to 1, I will create a tab to stick it into, put my favorite cream paper into it, and away we go. Okay, decorate it to my liking so everything looks stuffed and pretty, and you have your first birthday or Mother's Day journal with me. Okay, not journal with me, journal notebook. And it's your stuffed scalloped window. Now this one is a little different, and I want to use the vellum. This one I want to do the silver. I want to do, that was silver, wasn't it? Yep, that's the second or third time I've done that. Yeah, that's not gonna work. Well, it might work actually. That silver might still be really nice. Okay, so quickly I'm just gonna do some basic prep on this so you see what the potential is for this one using, say, vellum instead of the brown popping through a little bit, but it's actually not a bad thing. You got the silver to match with the lavender and the wisteria purple that's in this one. And then that's just rosemary. I always want to think it's wisteria, but it's whether it be wisteria or whether it be my rosemary plant. I think it's one of both. So they're layered in there, so it's really nice. Okay, but anyway, I'm going to do a little bit of the silver on the edges because that's what I like. I'm preferably more of a silver girl than a gold girl. So I've come quite fond of the vintage photo paper stuff. All right, so nice and, I don't really need to do the inside, but it's habit, so I went ahead and did it just in case someone sees it. Just keep this covered since I don't need it right this second. I'm going to turn this one on its side. All right, so again, I'm going to cut it out. best I can. There's probably hundreds of ways to do this, but I just cut that so I can get myself started. You can do a cross with a X-Acto knife. You can do this slightly fold it in half and do your scissors. Sorry guys, my nose is all whacked out. But hopefully you're enjoying this. I know it's not super chatty, but I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're all healthy. I hope you've been able to watch my new series in that pocket spread just for something fun and new that doesn't always have to be a full journal. And then these guys are, of course, just a quick little project. You can print any one of these kits, there's 3 of them, a number of times over, and you can, you know, take care of, you know, all your friends. Because there's a pink kit, there's this lavender kit, and there's a blue kit. So you're bound, and this one has a lot of green in it, so you're bound to have something that any of your friends, family, and girlfriends, moms, grandmas might like. So they make great presents. Sorry, my nose is all whacked out this morning. Hot, cold as usual. All right, so in this case, this time around, we're not going to have that double pocket. We're going to simply, this is where I won't use the colors. We're just going to put a little bit of this purple, this lavender vellum. It's a really lightweight vellum. It's not a huge cardstock vellum. And I'm going to, I'm hoping this works. I'm going to do a little bit of a cut job here and one here. I'm a little off the page, so I know that they hopefully will fit inside when I'm done. If not, I have a lot of it, so it's not like I can't try again. And again, it's cutting it straight, which I don't want to pull out the big cutter for this, but I also don't want to cut full pieces out of it yet because I want to be able to have options for size later. If I start cutting it, you know, then I'm sort of limited to when I could use it again. And I say with this one, for me personally, I do have some purple eco-dyed paper, which I'm loving, and I can't wait to use it on the inside of mine. But there's a slight difference to this one. So first we're going to just put down our vellum. So it's see-through, but not. Now here, I don't want to do all this gluing. I can probably trim it down some more. I feel like it is a little overkill. But then again, if it's all glued down, less likely for anything to pop up. So that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking if I do this, it won't get caught anywhere. So again, with vellum even, I'm still going to try to do more of the tacky fabric glue. Just so that, as I said, it seems to dry quicker right now, and it, because mine doesn't come out thick at all. And it just, I don't know, it just dries better. So I'm going to glue all of it. I'm going to line this sucker up the best I can so nothing shows, and we're just going to glue all the way around. That way we have a little bit wider, so if I'm sticking stuff in and out, it's not getting caught up on tiny edges. Ta-da! Ooh, isn't that pretty? I know it's on a green page here. There we go. Now look at that. Look at the pop of color on that one. Oh, I love it. All right, so you do the same thing. You would stick all this stuff inside it. You would decorate the front as you saw fit, distress everything. But the back is going to be a little different this time. This is where I had an idea that if you wanted to put this in a journal, because as we talked about, up and down just like this as a standard pocket is too wide for any journal, unless you do really big journals, because these are 7 inches. And I know when I created it, I figured you could use it as a standalone, so you could stuff into a journal, but you can still use it in a journal. We do a number of times, we decide to make these pockets, right? Tuck pockets, where you could glue this down in the inside of a journal that I do not have. I don't have a journal right now, but you can put this in a journal, your 5.5 inch journal, because usually 5 to 5.5 inches is the width of your thing. This is only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So it would just fit inside a standard page. Take up the whole page, but it would be a full page. You're going to glue down the edges. You're going to stick all of these lovely journal cards in here, which I don't have them all. But this time you're still going to stick them in a little differently. You may not stick them in, stick it out. Totally could. The smaller ones you could do, the bigger ones you could go sideways again, so you could see all these layers and textures on your side. But you can put all your journal cards here, and you're going to decorate here on the outside bottom. Especially for me, putting things on my right side. But then we're going to hinge it with the cover. And when we're going to hinge it off the edge of the page by using the cover. Okay? You're going to glue it to the page, glue it to your backing. That way, when you open, you're going to open it, and we get to put the notebook right here. So in this case, actually, we're going to go this way, because we don't need to see, like, we want to still see the pretty roses, but we may not want to see, this one, we can cover this with pretty paper, right? I can go either way. I can trim it really skinny, or I can trim it tall and wide, which I think it's going to go more this way. We're going to create a nice little notebook, and we're going to glue it here. This is glued to the page. This side is glued to this, and it's going to hinge outward. So let's do that really quickly so you see what I'm talking about. I wish I had a book in front of me, but, well, I have a book, but it's not like, okay, so if this happened to be, which is probably too big. Yeah, it's 5. It's 5 something. Okay, not bad then. That could be our example here. Let me hinge this real quick. So I want to show you this last possibility. If you wanted to, like I said, you were working on a journal for somebody, you wanted to put an extra thing in here. These don't have to be just standalone. These don't have to be just, you know, giveaway pieces. You could still put it in your journal as a side tuck pocket with a notebook still attached. A little extra journaling space, right? You don't lose the page. You don't lose its possibility. And you could even give this away. I mean, you can still give it away this way too, but... So now we don't have to really worry about whether or not it lines up like perfect, because we're not going to glue it to its side. We're going to glue it. We're going to use this cover piece as a hinge. Nice, long, pretty hinge. Now, before I do this, I always forget. I want to say, this is where you definitely want to remember to distress, because once it goes down, yeah, I can't redo it. Sorry, I got pieces everywhere that don't even belong. But the nice part is you can use your favorite papers. You can use for your notebooks, for your greetings, for your journal moments. This one, you don't even have to. Like, if you didn't want to put a notebook in it, or the book's already too thick, this is still light enough. You could write right on this page, right here. You don't even have to cover it up, but I want to cover it up in my book. I want it as another journaling space. Gotta make sure I do this. Now, on downstairs, if there's anything of decorating you want to do to this backside, you definitely want to do it probably before you put your hinge on. But I'm probably going to layer on top of it. I may put lace down this side that bleeds into the scallop edge. I'm going to decorate outward with this one. All right. So, because I want it to be on the right-hand side page, and I wanted it open outside the pocket, or outside the book, I'm going to glue it where that scallop is facing that side. So we're going to just glue this right now. And I'm not going to glue the other side right now because I have nothing to glue it into, but I will tentatively show you what that takes. And then we'll be done here, friends. But here's some ways to use this lovely mini kit, whether you put it on its side, whether you collage it, whether you leave it as a window, whether you make these into greeting cards, mini journals. I want to say the possibilities are endless. They're not endless, but there's definitely potential, and lots of potential to use these. Never assume to use it as you see it. Get creative. See it in any way that fits your needs. Cut it, trim it, make it work. So if I was putting it, so let's say that's the inside bind of the journal, because your journals aren't quite that tall, but you would then glue this side down to the page. It would close. It's going to take up most of your page. It's going to have its window on it with all its stuffed goodies in it. Right? So there's your pocket on this side, and then you're going to open it, and you can leave this as your journal space and whatever page is left. Or, as I want to do, I'm going to cut up a paper and make it an actual notebook inside this pocket tuck. Okay? Now, if you're smart, or not, you are smart, you're all smart, you're all super smart. Besides the fact you're tucking into this pocket, if you really wanted pocket on top of pocket, you would only glue down the seam and the top and the bottom. You would leave this open too. So when you opened it, let alone having a notebook, you might decide you want to put another journal card underneath here, right? So you could see it. Put a little thumb notch maybe even there. Put your note card in there, because you're only doing the 3 sides, leaving this side open, and you can tuck into it. Or you could glue all this down, and though you have a pocket going this way, you also have a pocket going into the edge of the page. As Lorette and Gail both do, there's always ways to leave open gaps and make more pockets. So you could tuck it in underneath as a hide hole. You tuck it this way, you open it, this side is glued down, but you have a notebook on top. Or you just have a pocket going this way, it's glued down at the seam, and you leave this open to tuck it in this way. So there's another thing. This does, no one says this can't be on its side. The pieces are big enough that they can fit nicely inside here. They shouldn't, if it's all glued down nicely, they shouldn't move around much. right? It's up to you to decide how you want to put these guys in here. I don't have all the pieces, but you know, you stuff it in any way you see fit. You can stuff it all in there. Well, could go on their sides. They are big enough where I feel like they wouldn't flap out too much with the, it's hard to tell without it being glued down right now, which I could do. But there you go, ladies and gentlemen. These are my scalloped windowed pockets notebooks. And, I don't decide which way. Darker on the top of the bottom. Again, this is all pretty non-directional. It's really just how you see it. And I think because I want to decorate this bottom corner. If I was going to decorate, so I'm going to put the darker up here, and I'm going to decorate this bottom corner. All right, let's go this way. I'm like, how do I glue this? Always pay attention. Double check, double check, double check. Don't get distracted. Believe me, I know how that goes. Thank you for watching. These are my, like I said, my scalloped window pocket notebooks. There are 3 color styles. There's the purple, which is the lavender botanical. There's a forget-me-not blue, and there's a touch of romance pink. They are all very lovely, easy, quick ephemera pieces that you can add. The blue one you can add to the pink touch of romance kit. Maybe you don't want the whole pink touch of romance kit, but you love the pink. Well, now you get the chance of just touching the pink with all the pretties that go with it. As you saw in my double spread, all those pieces are in it that I use on the double spread are in the individual kit. So if you felt like you couldn't do the whole thing, why not just get the pieces that you want? I always lift that up. I don't know how that works. There you go. I'm just making sure it's all done. I love the vellum. That really gives it a pop of color. So if you have a really pale, thin vellum, add a little extra color. Really gives it a way to enhance. Like I said, this one I'm going to hinge up. I'm either going to leave the pocket here or the pocket underneath on my page for my purple journal. And I'm going to just stuff it with all of my favorite cards that we made on this kit. This is the only one. I think this is going to be the one I'm going to stuff into my extra pocket. But yeah, I think, you know, if you put enough stuff in here, I don't think anything is going to move around. I have pieces that I haven't cut. So let me get all the other pieces. Let's see. Let me see. What am I missing? I feel like I'm missing something, but I'm not sure which. Not many of them, huh? Oh, the big one here, which I made bigger. I just haven't cut it yet. So anyway, this one comes bigger now. My demo had a smaller version. You could put the flowers. You could put any one of these things in here. You could put her in here. No one says she has to be straight up and down, but she may be the one that I decided to put on the front, right? Put her here. Leave all the cards behind her. It doesn't have the same height dimension when you put it on its side, but I think it has the potential to be on its side. I may want, you know, any number of these. We now have this cute little guy that maybe we cluster and layer and then up here. So potential is always there. There's plenty to play with, but it's another option, another way to use it. Put it on its side, still make it a notebook, glue it into a book because it's taller, it takes up a nice page, but it flips open to give you more use, still create you a bunch of pockets. You know, otherwise, do what I was doing here and, you know, go ahead and make it a side pocket, make it another journal, make it another book, notebook for greeting, and, you know, give it away as a cute little gift. So I hope you enjoyed this. Hopefully this was helpful with the kits. I said I showed you very little last week, or it feels like last week. Showed you very little on Tuesday because I wanted you to come back and watch today if you were curious on ways to use this. I thank you all for coming and joining me, watching, subscribing, liking, loving, commenting. I really do appreciate it. We are stuck at the 9 a.m. right now, it looks like, for our Journal with Me's. 12 was too late. No one wanted to journal. They don't mind watching videos, but not so much journaling with me. So if you want to chat, craft, and chat, keep coming back at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and we'll see how that works out for everybody. And we'll keep the reveals at noon. We'll keep the digitals at 12, or 9, I mean. 12, 9, 9, 12. Daylight savings this week is still throwing me off. Oh my goodness. And ladies and gentlemen, there we go. Some new ideas, a new kit, ways to use it. Enjoy it, expand it, never let it stop you. Always try to use it in a different way. Make it work for you. It's okay to trim. It's okay to adjust. It's okay to change its direction. And, you know, have fun with it. So, I hope you guys have a great day. Happy St. Patrick's Day, again, for sure. I hope that your daylight savings has not been too crazy. And you guys are ready for spring this weekend. I know we're supposed to get rain, of all things, for spring. Why not? Spring showers, right? Thank you all for watching. I will see you guys next week as we finish up the 2-page spread. And the week after that is my birthday week. And definitely check back on our reveal day because I have a surprise for all of you. And I hate to have you miss out on that. So, Talk to you all soon. Have a great day. Bye-bye.